Now we're going to look at different ways to describe the interval. So if you look at this graph, you have -3 on the left and you have a +5 on the right. At -3 you have an open circle. At +5 you have a closed circle. There are three ways to write this. The first way is called interval notation, where you have two numbers separated by a comma. If you notice, it looks exactly how the graph looked like. Curve because it's an open circle, and bracket because it's a closed circle. The two numbers will be -3 and 5. Inequalities will be very similar. You have the two numbers, -3 on the left, +5 on the right. The only difference is there's an X which represents the line between the two numbers. Because it's an open circle, you're going to have an inequality without the equal sign. With a closed circle, you have an inequality with an equal sign at the bottom. The reason is because you have to include that number as part of the solution. With a set notation, you just have to copy the inequality and put it into the set. And the set looks like the squiggly bracket with a bar right there in front of X and an inequality inside. There are two cases that you need to look at. One is called negative infinity. So with the negative infinity, how would you write it? Because on the left side represents negative infinity, you have negative infinity on the left side and 6 on the right side for the interval notation. Because it's an open circle where 6 is, it's going to be curved on both sides. However, in the inequality, you only have one number. Why is this the case? Because there's only one number to begin and it's going to the left forever. That's what this represents. The number that goes to the left of 6 forever, meaning that it's going to go towards negative infinity. Set notation will be exactly the same. Copy the inequality into your set. The next example will be positive infinity, which is very similar. For the interval notation, on the left side you have a +3, but it's a closed circle. That's why you have a straight bracket. On the right side, since it's going forever, you're heading towards positive infinity. That's why it's curved. For the inequality, X will represent the line and it's going towards the right side. Because you have a closed circle, you have an equal sign at the bottom and the number 3. For the set notation, you just copy the inequality into your set. Now that ends the lesson for this section.